Okay, well, it's wonderful to be here today to formally launch Dad's Alliance for Thrive by 5. It's great to see so many people raising their voice for the role that fathers can play in the lives of their children. We know that many fathers want to play a role in the lives of their children. They want to play with them, they want to be involved there for the tough things like changing the nappers, but also the fun times like playing in playgrounds like this, just being there, being part of their life. And many of them feel that the way the current system works is actually a bit loaded against them. So that's why we're here to call for a policy change to actually provide more support for fathers in that role. And we're here also launching a Dad's Action Plan for the early years. At its heart is the call for a universal high quality early learning system. But we also think there's some other things that governments can do to make a difference. One is to actually talk about this stuff, to actually have an education campaign about the role of parents, to help employers understand there are things they can do in their own workplaces to make it easier for men to actually play this role. There can be some policy changes, 12 weeks paid parental leave for fathers so that they can spend those crucial early months with their children. We also think that there could be some important parenting programs to actually help fathers understand the role they can play with their children. Giving that information about how crucial the first few years of life are for the development of the child. 90% of a child's brain being developed by the time they it's actually 5 years of age. So much is going on in those early years. And then the other thing that we're really keen to do is to attract more men into the early education profession. About 10% of them are currently participating now as well. We've seen here with the men around us that there are so many men that do want to actually play a role, either directly as service providers or as entertainers or as people raising their voice to actually make children and the lives of children better in those first 5 years. So it's wonderful to be part of this group, and I've got a group of people that would just like to say a few words to you, and then afterwards we'll give you the answers. But first cab off the rank is Simon Pryce, Red Wiggle.
Thank you very much. I think as a Wiggle and as a new dad, I always say young dad, and it's certainly not the case, but as a new dad, I'm experiencing firsthand the importance it is for a solid family unit, both mother and dad being highly involved and engaged in a child's life. And through those early years, Ash has just turned 3, we're now at daycare at early learning centres, and it's become more and more aware how important these early learning centres are for children in their development. And as a Wiggle and as a dad, I'm very, very proud and pleased to be here today to support Thrive by 5, the dad's. Thank you.
All right. Well, as a dad of 2, I think it's the best experience of your life being a dad, but being a positive and involved dad makes you a better partner in your life as well. As women go through their issues after childbirth and many others, I think it's very important to be there not only for your partner but for your kids. A more involved dad is a happier dad and a happy family unit. So, thank you.
Before I start, I'd like to notice we're media Gadigal land today. Present and engaged fathers are incredibly important to the development of our children. For 60,000 years, our fathers, grandfathers, uncles have been the storytellers alongside our mothers, our grandmothers, our aunties.
I know,
Support and to be there for our children, to support our children has been fantastic, and that's why I support this Thrive by 5.
So
a lot.
In the part of the year, and that the role of a father is crucial in a household, and we see that houses homes that don't have fathers, there's always issue. And also the early development of the child is very important. That's why I'm here today to support this course so that we can do so much for our children's future. Thank you.
Children.
We know that the role that men and fathers play in the lives and development of children and of families is absolutely critical, but we also know that it isn't being supported in the way it should be. We know that globally, dads take more parental leave in the early years than dads in Australia take. We know that the caring patterns that are set in the first year of life persist over the course of a child's life. So it is critically important that we reform policies to give men and dads the opportunity to be the engaged, involved, positive role models for their children and families that they want to be. We know that the outcomes will be improved. And we are really proud to stand alongside all of these individuals and organisations in calling for the role of dads to be recognised more.
What it is? In this fathering project, we are all about changing children's lives. We know that dads across Australia want to take a much more active and engaged role in their children's lives. And we also know that government policies and corporates need to look at how they allow dads, allow them to have parental leave and give them that permission, if that's necessary, to be able to do that and spend time with their children. There is clear evidence that a dad's impact on their child's life is incredibly important, especially during those first life years, and we are very supportive of them getting more dads involved with their children as much as possible. Thank you.
Just as dads' roles are changing and increasing in children's lives, the role of the male early childhood educator is one that really needs to improve. Currently we sit at below 3% of the workforce being males in early childhood education. The Dads Alliance, the Dads Action Plan aims to change that and increase the gender diversity in the early childhood workforce.
Everyone at Playgroup is thrilled to be part of the Thrive Like 5 Dads Action Plan, which we're proud to support today. And we know that dads are an important part of what happens at home, and this is an opportunity for dads to have permission to be dads and to come to places like Playgroup that interacts with and engage with their children in a meaningful way, as well as other parents, and to see what else it is that they can do as a parent and take that good stuff home, which we know has a really powerful and positive impact on children's development.
As a proud dad for two beautiful children, and as a leader at my passionate child and family program at SSI, we will throw our support to the men's alliance. So SSI is a not-for-profit organization providing support to marginalized families, socially and in a very creative way. So the importance of dads coming from child background is to be equipped with resources, culturally and ethnically diverse resources. Either through language, either through different ways like to be culturally appropriate to target dads. This way, it can be done through community, because we need to target community leaders, we need to target fathers, and to create a safe and a culturally safe environment for fathers to be proud and to own this recognition. Thank you.
At Dad's Group, we see every day the power of dads coming together to connect, to hang out in a playground and see what it's like to be a dad and to experience other dads' life, to learn from each other. As a dad who's been blessed to have lots of long-term parental leave, the support I give my wife through her career, then by taking that parental leave is something which we can't take for granted, and we all need to be the best dad we can be, and it's great to support this plan.
I'm lucky enough to work with Healthy Harold and have two kids under the age of 5 myself, and I've seen both of them thrive through the early learning system. It's just critical that we can bring dads in on this journey and help kids thrive by 5. And I'd love to reinforce the messages around government legislation to support parental leave, and also really encourage the business community, the corporate community, the not-for-profit sector, to look at their parental leave opportunity. Let's help dads get back out there and work with their kids and really form that family unit in those critical years. Through early years and support from dads, we can give mums a good break, get them back into the workforce as well, and make sure the kids thrive by the age of 5. Thanks.
Thank you for joining us. I think the diverse nature of the people behind me and in support of the Dads Alliance action plan speaks volumes of how important it is to get fathers engaged in household parenting duty. It's critically important to get children to thrive by 5, and I encourage all fathers, all organisations out there to get a copy of our Alliance, our action plan, have a read and think about if you want to support us. Your support and your contribution will be really valued. As I said, we play and we work in a really vital, important space for our future and our children's future in this space. Thank you.
Well, thanks everyone, and are there any questions?
I did it definitely. Yeah.
Lovely, thank you.
Thanks everyone.